Now that's how you do a movie. What it do, guys? It's your boy JR3. I just got back from seeing Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and bruh, the only thing I can do is give my applause because that is how you do a movie. This movie, for some, it was what you expected. For some, it wasn't what you expected. For me, I think I only expected one thing out of this movie. Now, first when it started off, it first started off, of course, from what you seen in the trailer, they laying my boy T'Challa. They laying him to rest. I do appreciate the route that they went. They kept it real, to relate along with the late Chadwick's death, but they didn't use it as a sort of big plot, to the story. It was basically, King T'Challa died from an undisclosed illness, and that was it. They didn't go on to say what it was or whatever, but you start off, they're laying him to rest because you start off with Shuri in a panic because she's trying to save her brother by trying to regrow that heart-shaped herb that Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, burned, in the original Black Panther. So you already feeling the effects from the first movie just by the intro. And then, so that's when, you get Angela Bassett, the queen, saying that, King T'Challa is with the ancestors, he's gone. So, boom, that hits it off, that starts it off. Then the intro alone, the regular Marvel intro where you got all the comics and, the letters and then the background theme music and all that, you don't have none of that. It's just nothing but Chadwick from Black Panther. It's nothing but him from the original Black Panther. And it's no music at all. It's just quiet. And the whole theater is just sitting there silent, just taking it all in. Like, bro, I'm still feeling it in here because, like, you're taking it all in and it's that impactful to you. Like, I almost cried in theater. I'm ashamed that I didn't, but I almost did. But you taking that all in, it opens up, you see everybody in the all white as they carry his casket through Wakanda, and it's not a funeral, it's a celebration of life. Like, they're actually celebrating his life. There's not really anybody really crying or sad except for Queen and Shuri, because that's their family. But everyone else, they're just celebrating his life. Then you have his burial, and then that's where the movie jumps, a year ahead. And it's been a year, since they buried him and stuff. And, as people say, you grieve in different ways. That's where the movie picks up. It's not about, we done buried Chadwick or we done buried T'Challa, how do we move on? It's a movie about how you deal with your grief. So really the whole plot is Shuri. Like, of course, like I said, this is going to be spoilers, but of course, as we all thought, Shuri is going to take up the mantle of Black Panther, but she doesn't know it yet. The mother, Queen, Angela Bassett, she's already dealt with her grief. She's burned her ritual clothes that they wore in the life celebration, and she's had her time to think about it and be at peace as she was when she lost her husband, now when she lost her son. Shuri hasn't dealt with any of that yet. Shuri has just been on go, since everything. And she literally says, she has a sit down with her mother at one point, and she literally says, if I stop to reflect on this, I'm gonna burn the world. Where have you heard that from? From the first time, where have you heard that from? The original Black Panther. That's when I knew how it was gonna happen. That I knew it was gonna happen like that. But then moving away from Wakanda, bruh, the beautiful world under the water of, I forgot the name. It starts with a T, and then Namor. Like, bruh, the way that he was and everything. Top 5 villains. Thanos. Yeah, top 5 villains. Thanos, Killmonger, Namor, Loki, Zemo. Top 5 villains. Like, he's up there because you understood where he was coming from, just like you understood Killmonger in the first one. So we get his backstory, and it's all just beautiful. He's basically, watching over his people just like Wakanda had the Black Panther watching over them. And then, not only that, but, jumping a year ahead, you still are dealing with the loss of the Black Panther. But not only are you dealing with that, but now that the Black Panther is basically dead, you got the Americans trying to infiltrate Wakanda or the outreach programs and basically, trying to basically steal vibranium. So, you still set up to protect your country because now that they think that the Black Panther's gone, they think you're weak. So, everyone comes together and all, and, they're like, hey, we gotta, basically we gotta protect Wakanda. Well, while they're doing that, there's a machine that's under the water that detects vibranium. And they say it was made by, this brilliant scientist. And, of course, I was thinking, it was Tony Stark related. Nah, Riri Williams. They go to MIT, and they were like, and it wasn't, she didn't even build the machine for them. She built the machine for a class. They stole it and started using it for that purpose. So then, they get to MIT and they were like, hold on, you need to tell me the brilliant scientist that built this is a student. So, of course, Shuri and Okoye, they're going to track Riri down so they can take her back to Wakanda because it's not safe. Because Namor is out for her. Because they're destroying Namor's world to try to get that vibranium. So he's like, no, I need to kill this scientist. That way they can stop destroying my world. Because I'm trying to hide just like Wakanda's trying to hide. So they go to get Riri, try to take her back to Wakanda and all that. Led to this awesome fight scene, this awesome chase scene. We see Riri suit up in her Mark 1 armor. Everything was just awesome about it. Then you get the fight between Okoye and the I ain't gonna call them Atlanteans, but Namor's people. They got some skills, bro. Like even though they deal with water, they got like water bombs and everything. So basically, Shuri and Riri get captured. Okoye has to go back to Wakanda and tell Queen, hey, you told me not to take your daughter on this mission. I took her anyway. Now she is captured by this fish god or whatever. That's Angela Bassett was fed up. That's if you remember the teaser when she says, I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world and my entire family is gone. Have I not given up everything? That was when she said that line. She was yelling at Okoye because she told Okoye after that she said Shuri got cancer. She told Okoye to step down as general. Okoye was like, my queen, I've given everything to this position. And she says, that's when she says the line, no, I have given everything. Like, I'm queen of the most powerful nation and my family is gone. My husband is gone. We just buried my son a year ago and now you come telling me that my daughter is captured and I don't even know if she's alive or not. No, I have given up everything. You need to step down. So Okoye listens, she steps down and stuff. Then they go and you go and you pick up with Chadwick's wife, Nakia. They go and they rescue her. They bring her back. And in the process of Nakia rescuing Shuri, she kills one of Namor's people. Namor had already told Angela Bassett, the queen, he already told her, if you come for me, or my people, or my land, I will come to Wakanda. I will kill you, I will kill Shuri, and I will burn Wakanda down. So now, Namor is out for war. He comes to Wakanda, and it is a brutal fight. I'm talking about, if y'all seen from the other trailers, he's dodging in the air and stuff because he got the wings on his feet. And he basically comes and he fulfills one of his things. He throws a whole bunch of water bombs at the palace, which causes Angela Bassett, the queen, I'm keep saying Angela Bassett because she just did phenomenal in this, but Everyone did phenomenal, but still. But he causes her and Riri to drown. Angela saves Riri. Riri spits out the water during CPR. Angela doesn't. She drowns. And she drowns in front of Shuri. So now Shuri has lost her brother. First, she lost her father, her brother, and now she has lost her mama. Shuri is by herself now. That's what I'm saying. They took comical Shuri from the first one, took her to hell and back, and now, like, bruh, like after she lost her mom, that was the last straw. Like, you know, I thought Shuri was gonna try to reason with Namor, because when he showed her his world, she was like, she understood and all that, but no. Now, you know, they go and have a conference. She's telling M'Baku and everybody, you know, no, I want him dead. You know, it's about nothing. I just want him dead. So, you know, they're like, you know, I don't think this is what you're gonna do. She was like, I watched him drown my mother in front of me. Like, it ain't nothing. I want him dead. So, she goes, she's still trying to regrow that heart-shaped herb, and she does it. She takes the herb, and of course, you know, like how in the first Black Panther, when Chad would take it, you know, they had to bury him and stuff. No, she takes it, they don't bury her and all that. She goes into the ancestral world. She pops up in the ancestral world in the exact same place that her mom drowned. And she swims up to the top. And then the throne, she's standing behind the throne. And she's dressed in her all white attire that she wore at the life celebration. So when she comes around the throne, of course, you know, everybody's sitting there in suspense because, you know, it's quiet and you kind of don't want to see a CGI Chadwick. You know, you don't want to see a CGI T'Challa, and then you don't know if she's going to see her mother. I knew who was going to be sitting on the throne, and I hate the reason that I knew. But when she comes around the throne, Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, surprise cameo, best kept secret, surprise cameo. He's sitting on the throne in the ancestral world. You remember in the first Black Panther when he walked in and he looked at Angela and he was like, "Hey, auntie." Nah, Shuri comes around, little cousin. He's sitting on the throne and he's like, you know, you basically chose me. And she was like, "No, I didn't choose you. You know, why is my family not coming for me?" And then he told her, and that's how I knew when she told Angela, if she focuses on T'Challa's death and trying to move on, she's gonna burn the world. He basically said he was gonna burn it all before he burnt, you know, the heart-shaped herb. That's what he said. He said, you basically said the same thing that I did. So you chose me. Like, you know how you had the different consciences and stuff? And she was like, your brother was too humble to do what needed to be done. I didn't care. You chose me. And like, so he basically, you know, he tells her, you know, are you gonna be like your brother? Or are you gonna do what needs to be done, like me? And that's when she, you know, she comes back, like, she wakes up like, you know, it was a nightmare. And they're asking her, who did she see? She was like, you know, she didn't see anybody. She's not telling nobody who she saw. But because she took that herb, she still got, you know, super strength and all that. So she gets her new suit made. You know, she goes and she drops down on M'Baku. That's when you see her in the trailer, you know, falling from the sky and all that. She drops down on M'Baku in the new suit. And, you know, they praise her as the new Black Panther. Well, that's when they're getting ready for war. You know, they go into war on the ship and all that. Of course, you know, Riri got a new Ironheart suit that looks good. You know, it does look good. I've seen people say, you know, and all that. That I am looking forward to the new suit she'll make, you know, in her Disney Plus series, because of course they couldn't let her keep that suit because it was made from vibranium. But the suit did look good. It did the job or whatever. But, you know, they realize, you know, the reason Namor can fight and all that so good is because he comes from the water. So he's basically gaining his energy by the water that's on his skin. So if they can get him somewhere where they can dry him out, you know, it'll be easier to fight. So they get him in the helicraft and they're trying to get him to the desert. Him and Shuri are in the helicraft, they're fighting and stuff. And he basically stabs through, causing the helicraft to explode. But they still wind up on the desert. they go, toe to toe, and it's, the most brutal fight ever. And, so they're going toe to toe and stuff. And then that's when Namor, because he does have vibranium, he stabs Shuri with a spear. And in that moment, it's looking fatal because he stabs her with the spear. And I'm not talking about, just stabs her. He stabs like all the way through and basically sticks her to a rock with the spear. You remember how in Infinity War when Thanos took Tony's knife that he made his sword and stabbed him with it, and it went all the way through? That's the way the spear did. And then so, it's like she's basically there, and like Namor is trying to get to the water, so he can get his energy back. And that's when she's rethinking of all the stuff that she done went through, from Chadwick dying to watching her mother die to everything that happened, to watching Wakanda being flooded and everything. And she decides that she's gonna be noble, basically, like Chadwick. And she cuts the spear in half, and she doesn't like pull it out. Instead, she pulls herself off of the spear, which they don't show no blood or nothing, but she pulls herself off of it. Then she takes the spear, and then she gets down in front of Namor. She knocks Namor down to the ground, and she's got the spear at his neck, and she can like cut his neck or whatever. In that moment, she chooses the right path. She said they will work together. Both of them will keep each other secret. Everything, that is gonna be good. My people are not gonna come for your people. You will not come for us. That's basically what it is. And then that's when they go back to Wakanda, just like the regular one. It's Challenge Day, and Baku shows up to challenge for the throne. Shuri is not there, so I'm believing M'Baku now rules over Wakanda, because he says that Shuri the Black Panther, had other matters to attend to. She goes to Haiti with T'Challa's wife. And she's basically, during that ritual that Angela told her about, burning of the clothes and, closing your eyes, and just remembering, and then when you open, just releasing that memory. And then it was a beautiful scene. She put the clothes on the fire as they were burning, it was just quiet, and she closed her eyes. And then all you saw was flashbacks of T'Challa, Chadwick, from the first Black Panther. And it was just beautiful. It was quiet. Everybody in the movie there, it was like they paid their respects. Everyone was just quiet and everything. It was beautiful. Like, I did hear sniffling. I'm upset that I couldn't cry, because that's how beautiful it was. But she opens up her eyes, and then, I remember in the beginning of the movie, she said, they prayed to boss, and she was like, please help me save my brother. Help me, to let my brother live on. Her prayers get answered at the end of the movie, and it's in a different way. So, when she opens up her eyes, how when the camera is zoomed in on the person, and the rest of the background is blurry, well, Nakia is coming from the background, and she's holding on to a little kid. The same little kid had ran up to Angela back before she died, and just greeted her, but she's holding on to his hand. And they come up, and I'm like, bro, I know they're not. I know they're not. Like, this was the second thing that I had called. I called the Killmonger, but then I was like, bro, I know they're not. And she says, Shuri, are you ready? And then Shuri looks, and she says, this is your auntie Shuri. And I was like, bro, don't tell me. And then she looks at Shuri, she said, this is my son. His name was Saint. And so then, Shuri is telling him the history of his name and stuff. And he said, can you keep a secret? And then she said, yeah. She said, I can. And then he said, Saint is just my, that's just my American name. And she said, who are you? Basically like how they say in Wakanda. And he says, I am Prince T'Challa, son of King T'Challa. That right there, it hit me, and I'm still mad that I didn't cry. But I'm like, bro, my man's legacy is living on through his son. He's the prince, and he still has the name T'Challa is still living on. And then Shuri, as you know, did mother get to meet him? And Nakia says she did. And I'm like, bruh, the legacy is still living on. And so, you know, the movie goes off. Of course, you know, at the outer credits, they say the Black Panther will return. There wasn't any, like, in-credit scene. That was the post-credit scene where Shuri met her nephew. That was the post-credit. But there is no, like, after-credit scene. But yeah, that movie, bruh, the movie was... It was 10 out of 10. Like, I know I said Spider-Man No Way Home was the best movie. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. In terms of nostalgia, Spider-Man No Way Home is still the greatest movie of all time for me. In terms of how you deal with the main character's death and then having to rewrite the script and then still come out with a masterpiece that is Black Panther Wakanda Forever, that is how you do a movie. That's why I had to clap it up. That was one thing that got me mad in the theater. When it went off and it came on the screen, you know, dedicated to Chadwick, you know, it was like people in the theater, it was like they wanted to clap, but they were scared to clap. So, like, I just stood up and started clapping, then everybody followed suit, and I'm like, bro, like, did y'all not just watch the same masterpiece that I did? Like, how are you afraid to show your love for this movie? Like, bro, the movie was that cold, bro. Like, that movie, I am going to see it again, and I'm probably going to feel the same way. But that movie did so much justice, bro. Like, that movie was just, that was it, bro. Like, I can't even find all the words to describe, because that movie, it tugged at your heartstrings. You know, like I said, I haven't cried in a movie since Endgame, and I'm ashamed that I didn't cry in that movie. Like, that's how much it meant to me, and it was deep. Like, I'm ashamed that I didn't cry. But yeah, that movie was something. But yeah, you know, that was just my little review, spoiler, reaction, whatever. Yeah, if you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Till next time, it's your boy JR3. Holla at you.